It was bound to happen sooner or later. I had just passed the car when the formula lost all power and sputtered to a stop about 3 miles south of Charleston, Mississippi. I was heading to the third annual Money Road Unity Festival hosted by WABG Radio outside of Greenwood, Mississippi. I have no idea what's wrong with the formula. Could be a bad injector, could be the fuel pump, could be the end for the formula. But it's definitely not the end of our travels or the blues trail. As long as we have one car that runs, we will be on the road. A sincere thank you goes out to Mitchell's Repair Shop and Record Service for the rescue and for getting me and the formula back home.
Let the slow rebuild begin.
Let's kick off this long process by removing the air box and the mass airflow sensor. Time to drain the radiator.
Oh dang, it's broke. Okay, I broke this, so I'm gonna have to come over here to this side and see if I can take that hose off right here to drain this coolant out of the car.
Well, it worked.
Decent amount covered. Got pretty much all the hoses off the pump. Took this off. So remove that out the way. So now the next thing I have to do, which adds more work to it, is I gotta take this coil off. And I think I got to remove that so I can get to like one bolt out of these 6 bolts for the pump, for the water pump. After that, I can knock the water pump off, and then we'll go on and try to get the opti-spark. But for now, my day is done.
Watch out for the next video to witness the disassembly of my opti-spark.
It's another morning, Saturday, September 14th. Gonna get back at it. I'm going for the coil right now.
I've only taken one nut off so far, and I'm already running into problems.
Alright, the problem that I was running into first is that this socket is too short. I'm trying to put it on this bolt, it won't reach the bolt. So I had to go buy this long socket. It's just one. So I shouldn't have any problem getting it in and getting it off. So let's get to work.
With a touch of brute strength, I was able to remove the ignition coil.
Put it on the lab coat again. I'm trying to operate.
Remember how clean the lab coat is now.
Alright, just to show you what I'm working with. We got 2 bolts on top, 1 bolt on the bottom. So you got a bolt here, right here, and then 1 up under the bottom, which is easy to get to if you have your car on jacks. So let's go ahead and get this taken off, and we'll be done with that, hopefully. Alright, after removing the air injection pump, remove these 2 bolts and the pump bracket that covers the water pump stud. Let's see if I can find this. I tell you what, I see the metal one. I can't see that one under. I probably have to get up under the car and see if I can find it. Tell you what, we're working on this car rough. The second bolt, I had to pull the spark plugs out to get to it. So you should be able to see it. It's right there. It looks like it's in between the second and the third spark plug housing. The wires for the opti-spark. So I already pulled the wires off. I labeled the wires. So I'm going to just go from top to bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I actually put my marks on, so I know that's number 3, That's number 4, number 2, number 1. So we know 1 will go on the top, 2 will go on the second one, 3 will go on the third, 4 will go on the bottom. That's how we'll do it. And let me see if I can get this bolt off and get this bracket off, and we'll be ready to pull the pump.
Unfortunately, that same bolt did not want to budge. Let's try it from under the car.
Please, baby, please, baby, please, baby, baby, please.
And with a mighty roar, I was able to break the bolt loose.
I tell you what, that son of a gun right there was a woo. Well, we got it. We finally got it loose. You got to be kidding me. I broke it. I actually broke the bracket. So y'all don't want to mess with me. There's the aftermath of what I thought was a successful removal of a bolt. I ended up breaking the bracket. Will that make a difference? I don't know. This bracket's been broken already. It just doesn't seem like it's clean, but I don't know. But we're gonna see. All right, let's keep moving. Well, I ended up taking the cooling fans off too. It was actually getting in the way. But that gives me a lot of room, especially up under the car, to work on trying to get everything else taken care of. So let's get to work.
Took the first 2 bolts off the water pump with no problem, but that third one,
Oh, wow.
it gave me a surprise. I found out quick that there was still some coolant in the water pump. I was having issues getting the harmonic balancer bolts off, so I asked my son to help me.
Okay, go for it. Oh! Dude! Why?
He almost dropped that heavy breaker bar on my face.
All right, dude. Appreciate it. Thank you. Kill me, but thank you. All right, the problem I ran into right here was I was turning the harmonic balancer and trying to loosen the bolts. So I actually had to get my son, while he tried to loosen them, I tried to hold pressure on it, and we were able to get them loosened. So we're good to go. We're almost to the opti-spark now.
But first, with a little persuasion, let's pull the water pump.
All right, we got it. Water pump finally out. Next is opti-spark.
And about 30 minutes later, I had the opti-spark in hand.
To all of the mechanics, auto mechanics out in the world, my hat's off to you. To anyone who's working out in this heat, 97 degrees right now, road construction workers, military personnel, anyone, civilians, people just getting the infrastructure back correctly. My hat's off to you. Farmers out in the field, people in hot factories right now. My hat's off to you. I appreciate each and every one of you. You guys take care. And as always, be blessed. Peace. This is the opti-spark from the Gen 2 LT1 engine. I'm going to take it apart, and what I find on the inside will let me know whether to continue with this repair or if the Firebird Travels Facebook page will eventually be a legacy page. Stay tuned. I actually have 4 torque screws that I have to remove.
I removed the 4 screws and...
Okay, so I just pulled this off. And to my surprise, I have 2 little screws right here. I don't know, babe. Apparently they go to the rotor. So apparently, yeah, my rotor is bad. Yeah, upon closer inspection, seems like a piece. Let's see if I can point to it right there. That piece broke off into it. And I already caught myself trying to clean this stuff up. And one thing I did notice, especially with this, there was a lot of little build up here, right up in there, and I already cleaned it. And this steel plate has oil all on it, and it was a little oil down here, kind of close to where my vent hole is. Didn't really see anything bad with the sensor. Of course, they say the sensor is a Mitsubishi sensor, and apparently it's one of the best ones. So if my sensor is okay, which I believe it is, even though there's some oil on this steel plate, really wasn't anything here, and I really didn't see anything on the pins. So if I can get this rotor to stay on, and I'll try to clean these points too, I think I'm gonna take a gamble. Might as well save some money while I do it. My new cap and rotor finally came in, and I was kind of tempted to use the cap as well, but I was looking at the rotor and I saw how loose the seal is. So I'm thinking, well, I was looking at the cover, I'm sorry. I think all I'm going to do is just use this rotor, because I know that seal on mine is not bad at all. It's not great, but it's not bad. And I think my cap is in decent condition too, so we'll just try to keep it as original as we can. Alright, let me go get some thread locker and get these screws Loctited in. Well, doggone, He-Man. Over tighten the bolts again and broke something else. I'll tell you what. So now I have no choice. I gotta go to the rig. So this is how it's supposed to look. And I set up there and I guess I over tightened it and broke these. I mean, it just crumbled on me. So here we go. Nice and red and shiny. All right. Let's go ahead and get up under here. At least let's get the opti-spark on. Okay, now look at me. I have the pin-driven opti-spark, so I don't have to worry about lining up the splines. So hopefully it won't be as bad on this one. We're about to find out. Down in there. But I tell you what, it actually looks good. Everything's about ready to go for the water pump now. Once I start, I have to clean this other stuff off and then get my gaskets ready and get ready to take care of that. The spark is done. Up at the crack of dawn to hopefully get this engine bay cleaned up and get this thing, get the water pump put back on and everything buttoned up together, and hopefully by this afternoon we'll be back on the road.
It started off like this, but I got it like this.
I spent almost an hour cleaning up these gasket areas here. You definitely don't want to go skimpy on making sure that your prep work is good. We're about ready to mount the water pump. We bought this safer scraper. It's supposed to have a plastic blade that I started using on it. It will not get all of the gasket off. You will have to use a proper scraper with a proper razor blade. I have right here my brand new water pump with gaskets. I also had to buy a coolant temp sensor. I had to because I actually broke the other one when I was removing my old pump, so I had to get another one. and I have the thermostat. I also have my gasket sealer, and we're about to get ready to get it ready to put it on. Okay, one thing to make sure, make sure that you have your coupler. It was stuck on the back of my old pump. So just make sure that you remove this and place it on the new pump. Apparently the coolant temp sensor has some kind of red, I guess, seal on it now. I'm still going to make sure that I'm good. I'm going to go ahead and put this Loctite on, and then we'll thread it into that hole right there, and that'll be ready to go. Nice little makeshift workstation right here. Let's get it done. Alright, according to Haynes, I need to apply a thin layer of RTV sealant to both sides of my gasket and install the gasket on the water pump. Definitely want to make sure that you put this Loctite, this thread sealant here, the 592, on the each of your bolts. This one I know goes in the water jacket of the water pump, so we definitely want to make sure that you have thread sealant on this, the 592. Congratulations, Mr. Presley, you just installed your first water pump on an LT1 engine. Yeah. All right, let me put this thermostat on. All right, we are almost there.
She's coming back together slowly but surely with the air injection pump, the harmonic balancer, and the cooling fan.
Might be a good sign. Doggone wind blew the cover off the cup.
Let's button up the mass airflow sensor and the air box.
I'll tell you one little thing. I ain't never doing this again.
At this point, I was burnt up tired, but it's almost over. Let's fill up the radiator with some coolant and get it off these jack stands it's been sitting on for over 2 weeks. It's almost about that time to see if all that hard work paid off.
All right, look at that opti-spark. Got that nice shiny pump under there. Hopefully that'll take care of the leaks. Hopefully that'll take care of my situation. Hopefully I will never have to do this again. I really don't plan on it.
It feels good to get the formula back on the road. However, I did have to spend some money to fix my ride. But the big question is, how much money did I save by doing it myself? Let's find out. Yes, I was wanting a quote on replacing a water pump and a distributor on a 96 Firebird, if you guys can do that for me. For me to make a face like that, it had to be real bad. $1,300. Wow. Wow. That's all I can say is wow. Well, save me some money.